Welcome, everyone, to the Tethys Shipyards. I am Takeshi Yamato, the Yardmaster, joining our host, the Housecoat Gamer.
Yo.
Today we are taking a look at our next Tholian starship design, the Garnet-Class.
Noticing a theme with the ships, aren't we?
Yeah.
Regardless, the Garnet is a scaled-up local Tholian design, basically a feldspar on a massive scale. Similarly armed, with a low crew complement, which really isn't doing it any favors in this particular setting.
Yeah.
Regardless, the ship is heavily armed for its type, with a number of Tholian phasers and a single heavy disruptor cannon, or Tetrion weapons depending on the era. Regardless, the ship was introduced shortly after the TOS era came to an end. Mostly because the other powers were just getting better and better ships, and those old Tholian web spinners from the 22nd century were starting to look a little, not great.
Yeah.
And with further incursions into the Tholian border, well, you can guess how they felt about the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, alongside the feldspar, they introduced the Garnet. Of course, it quickly became the basis of a new Tholian design. The Ruby-class heavy cruiser, but we're going to be sticking with the Garnet. The ship continues to serve the Tholian assembly fleet, but her days are numbered.
Yeah.
Because, let's be honest, with the introduction of newer technologies, these ships are slowly becoming obsolete, and the crystals they were made from just aren't good enough anymore.
Yeah. They may still be around by the 25th century, but the orb weavers, the recluses, and the tarantulas are just better. Anyway, let's get to statting this thing. Like the feldspar, we're assuming a start date, an entered service date of 2287. This thing is a scale 4 starship, so we have 48 points to work with, which makes our initial setup rather easy. Just 8 points in everything, then modify from there. For systems, at least. So, comms 8, computers 8, engines 8, sensors 8, structure 8, weapons 8. Now to take points away from some systems to add to others. What are your thoughts?
None of these ships are particularly, shall we say, tough. Let's be perfectly blunt here. Every single one of them is rather fragile.
Yeah. We'll take at least a couple points away from structure. So structure down to 6, that frees up 2 points.
They also have an incredibly low crew complement, so that doesn't help matters.
Yeah. So we have 2 points to redistribute into comms, computers, engines, sensors, or weapons.
Well, every single one of these ships is, if you forgive the pun, a glass cannon.
So, weapons, at least up to 9?
Yep.
Alright, that gives us 1 more point. We could bring weapons up to 10, or we could put that point into comms, computers, engines, or sensors.
It will most likely be going into weapons. Again, Tholians have lots of guns, but they're very fragile.
Okay, so structure 6, weapons 10, everything else at 8.
I
think that-
feel sorry for your friends.
I think that's probably good. Unless you have any other ideas.
Well, there is the web cannon.
Right, but that would be like a special rule or something or whatever. But like systems point ideas. We're currently
There goes one of the horses.
no real ideas.
Not really.
Okay, so comms. So final systems values are comms 8, computers 8, engines 8, sensors 8, structure 6, weapons 10. Alright, department values next. We got three points for the department modifiers. No departments more than 2 points. Command, con, security, engineering, science, and medicine.
With how esoteric this stuff is, I think a lot of points are going to engineering and medicine. For one simple reason. The Tholians are basically species A472. Without being species A472, their ships are built of the same matter.
They are.
Yep. Which
Okay.
also
So
ties into their fragility.
yeah. So 1 point each in engineering and medicine, and a second point into either one. Not sure which one.
Probably medicine. Because low crew count. You can't afford to lose anybody.
Okay. 1 point in engineering, medicine 2. Now, for weapons, this thing has disruptor cannon. 23rd and 24th century versions of this thing have disruptor cannons, disruptor banks, plasma torpedoes, and a strength 3 tractor beam. And the 25th century has Tetrion cannons, Tetrion banks, plasma torpedoes, and a strength 3 tractor beam. You could, on your own recognizance, give this thing the same rule as as Tholian starships as that one Tholian starship in the Alpha Quadrant book. Let me grab that book real quick. Let's see, Alpha Quadrant, Tholian starships, Tholians. Right. The Tholian Weaver class from the Alpha Quadrant book has a special rule of standing graviton field, which meaning it can produce as many tractor beams as it wishes, but they are each strength 1. You could possibly give this thing to the Garnet as well. But that's on your own recognizance. We're just giving this thing strength 3 for now. Now, that brings us to talents.
Self-healing hull. I mean, it is basically a quote-unquote organic starship. I say quote-unquote for a reason.
let's see. I'm not sure if we have anything like that for the... Oh! Regenerative hull. This is technically a 25th century or later talent, with the ship's hull infused with reverse-engineered Borg nanite technology that seeks out and repairs the hull immediately when it's damaged, often preventing a breach before it can happen. The amount of stress needed for the ship to sustain a breach is increased by 1. Technically, this isn't that kind of thing, but it could apply.
As these are effectively akin to the Undead in their own way. In fact, they basically are the Undead of the 23rd century.
Right.
I mean, think about it. Their ships are made of crystal. They're made of crystal.
Yeah. Okay, so regenerative hull. Anything else, or can we leave it at that with just 1 innate talent and room for the profile talent and 2 free talents?
That'll have to do.
Okay. And descriptor trait, Tholian starship.
Esoteric design. The ship is made of crystal, just like the Tholians. And it looks strange. I mean, just look at it.
Yeah.
But Tholian designs are only going to get weirder from here.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.